Hello, I'm Bill Gates, Chairman of Microsoft. In this video, you're going to see the future, Windows. Microsoft first came up with the Windows concept back in 1983. And today, the leading software users have switched into the Windows environment. It's really incredible how quickly our powerful applications like Word and Excel and PowerPoint have been adopted. It's not just Microsoft applications. Even companies like WordPerfect and Lotus have now come out with Windows applications. And every week we see new innovative work. It's really attracting all the innovation in the industry. We predicted this a long time ago, and now it's the future. Let's take a look. I'm in meetings a lot. My calendar gets very full with those, and then at night, after the kids have gone to bed, I'm on email a great deal. I get messages during the day. That's my chance to give long responses. And then over the weekend, I send a lot of mail as well. I take 2 weeks a year to just go off and read and think, where I'm not interrupted by work or anything else. I'm just solidly trying to think about the future, and people get to send me things to read as part of that so-called Think Week. So it's a nice mix of things. About 25% of the time that I'm out traveling around, meeting with customers, Europe, Asia, and that sort of helps me think, okay, do we have the right priorities? What are people responding well to, and what would they like to see us do better? The key point there is you've got to enjoy what you do every day. And for me, that's working with very smart people. It's working on new problems. You know, every time we think, hey, we've had a little bit of success, we're pretty careful not to dwell on it too much because the bar gets raised. If I had some really tough decision, I'd talk to my dad, I'd talk to Warren, I'd talk to my wife Melinda. So I have enough people that know me and actually know where my judgment isn't its strongest, where I might get overexcited about something or forget to think about something. And so they're good at correcting, particularly Melinda, good at correcting whatever those blind spots are. And I think it's good to encourage your friends and advisors to really give them that license. I can go to a party and forget to say hello to various people or something. That's a very minor example of my blind spots.
Not to the hostess.
Melinda would help me do that.
Yeah, she would,
So, a small number of people that you can turn to on certain key things is a great asset. My best business decisions really have to do with picking people. Deciding to go into partnership with Paul Allen is probably at the top of the list. And then subsequently hiring a friend, Steve Ballmer. And having somebody who you totally trust, who's totally committed, who shares your vision and yet has a little bit different set of skills. And also acts as a check on you. Some of the ideas you come up with, you run by them because they're going to say, hey, wait a minute. Have you thought about this and that? And just, when I started Microsoft, I didn't think of it as all that risky. I was so excited about what we were doing. It's true I could have gone bankrupt, but, I had a set of skills that were highly employable. And in fact, my parents were still willing to let me go back to Harvard and finish my education if I wanted to.
You've always got a job with me, Bill.
And the thing that was scary to me wasn't quitting and starting the company. It was when I started hiring my friends and they expected to be paid. And then we had customers who went bankrupt, customers that I counted on to come through. And so then I got this incredibly conservative approach that I wanted to have enough money in the bank to pay a year's worth of payroll, even if we didn't get any payments coming in. And I'm almost true to that the whole time. We have about 10 billion now, which is pretty much enough for the next year. Anyway, if you're going to start a company, it takes so much energy that it better overcome your feeling of risk. I don't think that you necessarily, if you're going to start a company, should do it at the start of your career. I think there's a lot to be said for working for a company, learning how they do things. If you're young, it's hard to go lease premises. They made that hard for me. You couldn't rent a car when you were under 25 at the time, so I was always taking taxis to go see customers. And the people would, people would say, well, we're going to go have a discussion in the bar. Well, I couldn't go to the bar. But that's fun, because I'll tell you, when people are first skeptical and they think, oh, this kid doesn't know anything, then when you show them you've really got a good product and you know something, they actually tend to go overboard and they think, whoa, they know a lot. Let's really do an incredible amount with these people. So our youth, at least in this country, was a huge asset for us once we reached a certain threshold. It is hard. It's hard to hire older people because they'll be a little bit conservative about whether they should come and take the risk. And it took 3 or 4 years before we could go out into the normal sort of employment pool. But those problems that come with starting a firm, you better think of those as part of the pleasure, part of the challenge that is part of the excitement.
Istiqomahkanlah 7 amalan ini. Yang pertama, laksanakan sholat fardu, sholat wajib. Diusahakan di awal waktu dan di masjid untuk laki-laki, dan diikuti dengan sholat rawatib. Yang kedua, perbanyak membaca Al-Quran. Bagi kita yang sibuk, para pebisnis atau para pekerja, bisalah diusahakan setelah sholat subuh dan setelah sholat maghrib. Oke? Yang ketiga, qiyamul lail. Usahakan bangunlah di sepertiga malam, sholat tahajud, sholat hajat, sholat hajat, baca Al-Quran, banyak istighfar, kemudian doa tuh di sepertiga malam. Pokoknya mantap. Yang keempat, birrul walidain, berbakti kepada kedua orang tua kita, terutama engkau laki-laki kepada ibumu. Seberapa banyak pun istrimu, seberapa banyak pun anakmu, tetap ketika ibumu masih hidup, ketika ibumu masih ada, utamakanlah beliau, muliakanlah beliau, jangan yang lain, bahaya itu. Pokoknya utamakan beliau. Yang kelima, perbanyak sedekah atau bersedekah ya. Kalau boleh tuh sebelum subuh, ketika kita pergi ke masjid, sholat subuh, di waktu fajar tuh, sebelum subuh kita berimpak, bersedekah. Kemudian yang keenam, sholat duha. Sholat duha ini penting banget untuk para pebisnis, untuk para pekerja. Kenapa? Karena fadilah sholat duha itu banyak. Di antaranya untuk bisa waktu kita itu lebih luang, lebih panjang, lebih berkah. Yang lainnya banyak, dari mulai sholat 2 rakaat untuk waktu kita diluangkan 4 rakaat agar rezeki kita dijamin dari pagi sampai malam lagi seharian. Apalagi untuk pebisnis itu wajib 6, wajib 8, syukur-syukur 10 atau 12. Yang terakhir adalah perbanyak istighfar dan baca sholawat. Ini penting karena tanpa istighfar, tanpa sholawat, doa-doa kita itu tidak ada apa-apanya. Karena kita ini banyak dosa. Sedangkan dengan bersalawat adalah kunci, adalah penghulu dari segala doa. Tidak ada yang bisa terkabulkan, tidak akan ada doa yang terkabulkan tanpa dengan salawat. Salawat pun akan batal kalau tanpa salawat. Pokoknya salawat ini banyak dan harus diperbanyak. Good luck.